Hi there. We're all stuck at home, or we're all keeping ourselves at home from self-isolation, or you don't want to be with crowds of people. So to amuse myself, and how I always amuse myself is by cooking. So today I'm going to be using something from my pantry, which I've done since I think Saturday was day 0. So I found these slightly out of date. I won't tell you how out of date they are because that might freak you out. But yes, they're slightly out of date pickled onions, but I figure they're pickled, so they could keep forever. So I'm going to use some pickled onions and some cheese. My idea was a ploughman's lunch. I don't know if you've ever had a ploughman's lunch, which is cheese and meat and pickles and bread. But I'm going to put the cheese, pickles and the bread together. So I'm going to make some basic bread rolls, but add the cheese and pickled onion. Then my idea is to make the tomato ketchup with my homegrown Farmer Boyd's tomatoes. And if you didn't know, Farmer Boyd is actually me. I'm talking about myself in the third person there, not Ian. He did bugger all towards helping it. He'll tell you he built the whole thing. But so tomato ketchup in my cheese and pickled onion rolls with some bacon and an egg. So that's going to be my dinner plan. So to show you how easy and simple it is to make a basic dough, I'm going to show you how to do it. So I've got my wheat that I've already done. So I've got basic bread, that's what I'm going to do. Follow along, 100 grams of wheat grains. Normally I'd use buckwheat, but I didn't have any shopping from my pantry, but I have buckwheat flour. So I'm just going to skip this step and come back to it a little bit later. So I've got 300 grams of water, 2 teaspoons of dried yeast. Now, if I'm going to run out of anything, it's going to be yeast. So I found these little packets at an Asian supermarket. So if they're all gone, I'm going to blame the fact that I told you about it. So 2 teaspoons of dried yeast, not on the blade. It makes it an awful lot easier if you avoid the blade, which is here. And then we've got 2 minutes to bring that up to 37 so that yeast can activate. So our dough is finished heating, well, a dough, it's not even a dough yet. Yeast and water is finished heating to 37, which is the optimal temperature for proving that yeast. Now we've got some olive oil, 20 grams, 400 to 420 grams of baker's flour, 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm also going to add some bread improver because it's not really a hot day outside. I just want to give my bread a bit of a helping hand. The reserve wheat flour. Now I didn't have the buckwheat to mill that, so I've already got it pre-milled. So I just need to turn my scales on to weigh that 100 grams in. Lid on. 6 seconds to mix that. And then we go straight into the dough mode, and we've got 2 minutes of kneading there. Maybe I could do a dance, but I'm not known for my dancing. Okay, so our dough is done. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back a step and add the pickled onion. Might not use it all. It's that bit. But I'm going to use all the cheese because you can never have too much cheese. And then a fly. And we'll go for another minute. So the dough has finished. You can tell it's a good dough because if you come up and there's no flour on your fingers, it's got enough moisture. And if there's no dough on there, it doesn't need any more flour. And what I always say, which could be a bit risque, is twiddle your knob to get the dough out. I've got some spare dough just on the side. I'm just going to make that into a ball. So what you're doing is you're folding and then pushing. Just mix it until it's smooth. So I've made it into a ball. Ta-da! Put it into a greased bowl. Now I'm going to put some Glad wrap on that And I'm going to put it in a warm place. I have a room upstairs that is always hot. I haven't opened the windows in there today. And I'm also going to put this one, which is half proofed, that is going to be a loaf, so I can cook both at once and use the oven at the same time. And I'll see you back here in about 30-40 minutes. So we're back after 30 minutes. The machine's telling me to put the oven on, which I've done. Knock down dough. So here's my dough. It's grown half the size. So we need to get the gas that the yeast has produced out of that. So give it a knead for a couple of minutes. There's 2. That makes 6. So there we go. So a good thing to do with kids if you're on self-isolating is to watch some YouTube videos about how to decorate with bread. I thought I would make like a snail. Now I'm just going to cover them up and let them sit for another 30 minutes to do the second proof while the oven is heating up. So after about 20 minutes, here is a bread after a second proof. So you can see it's risen up again. So they'll just go in the oven for 20 to 30 minutes at 200. And how do you test if bread is cooked? You tap on the bottom and you're listening for a hollow sound. So look at that, and you definitely cooked. Give it a couple of minutes for them to cool down, and then there's the taste test. Now tell me honestly what you think, but if you don't like it, you're getting broadbands for a week.
Okay, so we need real butter.
This is real butter.
No, real butter.
Real butter be stuff that I made myself.
Ah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Here we go. Oh, there it is.
They're good though.
Just got a chunk.
A little bit, yeah.
Not bad.
Very good.
So there you go. I've shown you how easy, I hope, I've shown you how easy bread is to make and how you can use some variations. What I've found out with the taste test is that I could have used probably double the pickled onion to get some flavour, but it's given it a nice savoury flavour. I don't know, you could pick it as pickled onion. But the good thing with cookie dough recipes, there are, 50,000 recipes, they've all been triple tested and not just invention tests, one-offs like mine. So give bread a go. It's so easy to make, and the feeling of satisfaction that you've made something so delicious is absolutely awesome. Bye.